Hope you all are doing good. So this is lab 4 and where we are going to do a lot and lot of things. This is the first lab where we are going to make use of agents. Okay. Now before I explain what is agent Y, agent etc., let's understand what is the problem. Okay. And we'll understand the problem with LLM, then we will see why agent, and finally we will understand what are the tools involved in the agent. For example, if I show you this image, okay, we will understand what are tools, what is memory, and what is agent in this picture, all we will understand. But what is it that we are going to build today is we are going to build a platform like this. Let me zoom in a bit, where you can enter your meeting transcript, and what it is going to do is it is going to send who it means the LLM or the agent. I will talk about that, but what I'm expecting it to do, it needs to send notification to my mobile. It needs to send the summary of the transcript to my email like this, and then it should give me an output that hey, email sent was successful, and this is the action items for each of the participants that was involved. So we are basically AI meeting assistant we are creating, which is basically going to summarize, extract, and notify via mobile, via email, and such. Okay, so let's see how we are going to do, and along the way we are going to understand the full concepts. With this you can create n number of AI based application. So with that mentioned, let's get started. Okay, so let's open cursor. Okay, now what is it that I see here first? Previously, if you have seen, let me zoom it a bit. Yeah, so LLM takes a prompt, returns a text, it doesn't remember or act anything. This is how we were calling LLMs previously, right? We were giving what is the model, what is the input it needs, and what is the temperature, other parameters, response format, maximum tokens, and few other parameters we were giving. But overall, what we were doing so far is we were mentioning which LLM I want to use and what is my input. Overall, the intelligence will be used and the text will be written as an output. That's what we were doing. But for example, let's say um, okay, it has intelligence. Now I am doing payment. Okay, I am informing someone, I am updating the database, so I am doing all this based out of my intelligence only. Okay, now I, let's say, based out of my intelligence I know what is to be done, but if I don't have the weapons to do it, for example, if I don't have the tool to do it, or for example I don't have a payment gateway, how will I do the payment? So I need those tools. Similarly, if I give this LLM, which is the brain, if I give the tools to perform some actions, okay, that's what we will call it as a tools. Okay, now one more thing. Let's say to the LLM, if I ask what will be my mom doing tomorrow at 12 noon, will it know? No. Maximum it can do is it will try to see if it's in the trained data. Does it have any knowledge about my mom? If it doesn't, how will it answer? It won't, right? So that's when I need to give my mom's schedule or my mom's friend's schedule to the LLM, from which it will get the context, it will try to understand, and then it will try to answer. Right? So here I'm not giving it the intelligence, but I'm giving it the context, the knowledge base, right? So what we understood is LLM is nothing but it's a brain. Okay, and the tools that we are going to give it is to perform some actions. For example, doing a payment, sending out an email, sending a notification to the mobile, or it could be basically a summarization or any functional thing also, not only which is a physical entity, but anything functional also. So if I keep it simple, LLM is nothing but a brain. Tools is nothing but an instruments that I'm giving to this brain to perform some actions, and resources are nothing but the knowledge base, just like how I explain my mom's schedule or her friend's schedule. If I tell the LLM, okay, all this together is agent. Now what agent is doing is, agent is making use of its brain and deciding which tool to use, when to use, and where to get its knowledge base from. So all this together is an agent. So if a definition is which plans and orchestrates everything. So if I open the image once again, all right, if you see, as soon as I ask the prompt, this complete thing, okay, I hope you are able to see my cursor, this complete thing together is an agent. So as soon as the input comes in, it goes to LLM, and then it decides which tool to use or what is the context I should pull up from the memory to response. Okay, now it is not mandatory that it uses tools every time. It has tools. Okay, now based on its a prompt, now based on what is the activity that it needs to do, it can decide, right? So we will see how we create the tools, how we can make use of the memory and everything. But in today's project, that is the summarizer, what we are going to use is, for LLM we are going to use GPT-4o mini only. For the tools we are going to use SendGrid to send email, and then Pushover to send a notification to the mobile, and finally we will use some Python function also. For example, uh, we will see, in one Python function I will ask it to summarize, in one Python function I will ask it to extract the action items. Okay, so all that we will be doing. So I hope you understood, and let's jump onto the cursor. Okay, so basically agent workflow is where user gives a prompt to agent, it will goes to LLM, and then it will decide whether I should call all tools or no tools or which tool, and then if required it can make use of the resource and give the result. Okay, so in our case what we are going to do is, as soon as we will say, hey agent, this is the meeting transcript, it is going to summarize the transcript, and then it is going to extract the action items, and then it is going to notify via email and notification tool to the mobile. I hope you understood, and this here I added a bit more explanation. But how we are going to implement this? Okay, so if you want to read about it, you can go to OpenAI github.io, but I will mention these links in the description also, so you can take it from there. All right, so yeah, this is the diagrammatically I am showing. Now, what we will do is, first try to understand that now we are using OpenAI SDK. No, now we are using OpenAI Agent SDK. So even if you see on the browser, it's OpenAI Agents SDK. Okay, hope you understood. So what we are going to do is, from agents module we are importing agent, and then we are creating agent. So when we want to create an agent, what we are passing is, we are giving some name. This has no logical, but just for our reference. Then we give it a model name, just like how we give it to LLM. And then we are giving instructions. Okay, now instruction says you can summarize, extract action, and notify team members. This instruction is basically a system prompt. Let me write here, because this is not the input that I am giving. Here I am simply preparing the agent. I am not using it. So I gave it the brain, I gave it the system prompt, and I gave it the tools. Okay. Later on in the upcoming labs and exercise, we will give it the memory, or and we will give it, apart from memory, we will give it the resources also. But as of now, I'm giving the brain, the system prompt, and the tools. Okay, now this is not executable. I'm just written here for the concept purpose. We will go step by step. Okay, so what are the tools that we discussed? We discussed about SendGrid, and we discussed about pushover a notification for sending notification to email. So let's spend a few minutes on setting that up, and then we will jump onto this exercise. So first, what you need to do is, it's very straightforward. You go to SendGrid, okay, and then you create your profile and go to settings, and then create API keys. Okay, so if you create, I have already created one API key, you create API key. Okay, and once you are creating the API key, you will get some free trial of 2500 emails that you can use. So how you will integrate this in your system is, you follow my steps. So step one, what you need to do is, let me zoom in a bit, because I'm going to .env. I don't want you to see. So if you go to .env, SendGrid API key. Previously we have mentioned Open API key. Now you also add SendGrid API key. Okay. So this key we are going to use in our code base. Let me see how we are going to use it. So what we are going to do is, uh, yeah, for sending email, what we are going to use is this mail SendGrid API client. All we are fetching from the SendGrid. Okay, so they are giving us a library. We simply need to make use of their client libraries and provide the key. And this is the email I created account with. So from email, keep your email with which you registered the account, and to email you can take it from the input as a user prompt or something. And this is subject plain text. You can modify later with HTML and others. But as of now, with this snippet, we will be able to send email. Okay. Now we will test it in a minute. But as of now, let's go ahead and integrate one more thing. So SendGrid integration done. One, you created the account, and then you created the API key, and then you copied this API key and you pasted in your .env. And finally, this step where you will be calling and the SendGrid will send email for it. Okay, now let's move on to the next tool. Okay, where we are going to integrate a send pushover. So in pushover, what you do is go to pushover.net, create an account, and once you create an account, you will get this user key. I'm going to blur this, but you are going to get this user key. So copy it, this you copy it and you scroll down and you create one more application. Okay, so create an application, let's say temp or give anything and create application. Okay, uh, terms of service, yes, I accept and create. Okay, I'll delete this API key, I won't use it, but you copy it because I will delete this. So even if it's visible, it's okay for me. I'm using other project key. So this is token key, and previously that you saw was user key. Now how you will keep it in your .env? If I expand, I don't want you to see my key, right? So if I go to .env, oh, I'm going to blur this as well. Yeah, so there is pushover user key where you will keep the user key, which is um yeah, let me show. One is user key and one is API token. So the key that you see inside the application is your API token key, and then the one that you see on the home page is your user key. This is your user key. So once you keep these two things, and let me show you the snippet. So you again created account, you generated API key, and now this is the function. So what this function does, it basically takes those two tokens that we have passed, and it takes the title and message as an input, and then it will simply make an API call to this endpoint with the payload, and that will be sent to our email. All right. So let's do that. So first I'm going to run this to load all my keys. Okay, and then I'm going to run this, create all these tools. So I'm creating different tools. So first I'm creating transcript summary tool, where as of now you can say it's simply a function, right? Why you're calling it as a tool, which is a very valid question. So let's consider it as a function only for now. We will decide it in a minute. Okay, so what this function is doing is it's simply saying summarize the following meeting transcript, and the transcript we are giving, and that we are going to call LLM. So this function simply takes the transcript and sends it to the LLM. Okay, straightforward, no confusion. And this function will take the transcript, and here we are asking the LLM to extract or list all the action items. And then we have one send email tool and send push notification tool. So we created four functions. Okay, now let's validate. So if you run this, okay, and then if you check your mobile, oh, in mobile you have to go to Play Store, you have to download the pushover application, and then you can see. And for my thing, let me see if this is visible or not, but you can see that I received a hi and hello too. Okay, so that's what I can see, notification has sent successfully. Now let me send this to validate my SendGrid tool is working or not. So if I run this, I can go to my email, which is this one, and let me go back, and here I can see I sent to previously, and this was 0 minutes ago. I can see this is my test content, and this is sent by my registered email. Okay, let me say report as not spam, then I can see it in my inbox as well. Okay, you can see subject is test and the content is test content. I hope so far we are clear. So we created two tools. Okay, we did not use anything. Okay, now let's go here. So what we are going to do is now we are going to write a function where we are defining the steps. What is the step one? We got the transcript. First we are saying give me the summary. Then we are saying give me the actions, and then we are saying this is the email content and this is the email status. So I'm going to call this method explicitly, and then I'm going to call send email tool. Where is push notification? Oh, this is not included, so let me include this also. Okay, send push notification tool also I can include here. Okay, so title maybe I can say something. For example, as of now, we are, I want to show you one surprise. So here you can say, hey, you are deciding everything, right? Which tool to use, when to use, and which function to call, and the order. Everything I am only deciding, right? Yes, you are right. So far, I'm simply using LLM. I'm not using tool because if you see here, I am deciding which tool to use, when to use, and the order of it. So send notification tool here, maybe I can say summary. Okay, and then here I can say what I can send, maybe the email status. Okay, so this I can pass, and then in my Gradio, what I'm doing is I'm collecting the transcript, I'm collecting the input, and I'm creating the box to show the output. And as soon as a button is clicked, I'm going to call my run meeting assistant. I'm going to pass this as input, and I'm going to get this as an output. Okay, so far it is very clear. Let me run this. Telling you one thing here, I did not use agent, I'm using LLMs. In a minute, we are going to use agent. And what is the modification that I need to do to move from the LLM to agent? I'll show you. Okay, so here let's give the transcript. I have created a temporary transcript. I'll give that only. Yeah, maybe I'll take this one, copy. Okay, this is paste, and then dpoint@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm running it, and let me zoom out a bit. All right, and now just one more point of highlight here. I'm using LLMs, not agent. We will make use of an agent in a minute. Okay, and I will show you. We are going to use some annotation. Okay, let's see. So we got some output. So what is it says that okay, that I need to scroll it up. So one, it says email is sent successfully. Okay, and then meeting summary, and then action items. So three things it did, and it is showing me everything. Now let's validate. So I'll go to my email, I'll go to spam, and let me refresh. Yeah, so you see I got it just now. Okay, so I'll open this one. This is 0 minutes ago, so I can see what is report as not spam inbox, and this one. So the subject is AI meeting summary, and I got the meeting summary and action items. All right, and let me check in the pushover notification also. Yeah, so you can see, let me show. It says email sent successfully to my dpointyt@gmail.com. Okay, so it is working. But here, where is the intelligence used? Here I'm using LLMs to use its intelligence to give me the response, correct? So, yeah, but again, I am only instructing, right? So I will decide if else, if payment, do this, if this, then do this. No, I don't want to do that. So for that, we will go for the agent. Now for the agent, we have created these tools already, right? But this is not tools. This is simply a function. Okay. Now if I'm using the OpenAI SDK, I need to convert this to a tool via certain steps. I have nearly 4 to 5 steps where I have to tell what is the purpose of this function, what is the tool name I can give it to it, what is the input criteria, what is the output criteria, and I have to do some 5 to 6 steps. But with OpenAI Agents SDK, what I can do is I'm writing the same functions again, but I'm adding a decorator called function tool. So with a function tool decorator, these are not simply a function anymore. Became a function tools. These became tools. Okay. Now why we are creating the tools? So I can give it to my agent, because I will give. Okay. So now we'll create the agent. So before we create the agent, I've just grouped all the tools in one list, and this is how I'm creating the agent. So you import the agent from the agent module, you provide it with some name, and you give the instruction. This instruction is system prompt, and then you're giving it the brain, and then you're giving it the tools. So this is where I can say I created the agent. Okay. Oh, maybe let me run this first. Yeah. Okay, and then create this tools, and then finally, yeah. So here, if I let me print meeting agent Okay, so you can see now a agent is created whose name is this, and what is handoff we will see. But as of now, you can see it got a few tools and the description of each along with the params. So who provided this? The name of the tool, the description of the tool, the params JSON schema, all these things we have to do manually. Okay, but with OpenAI's Agent SDK, just with the decorator called function tool, it is doing everything for us. And if we scroll down, apart from tools, we will see many things. Okay, this is a function tool, and this is details about it. And then we have, I want to show few more. Okay, that is all for now. So here we can see the resources, and we can see handoffs, and we can see guardrails and few more things. But as of now, let me not go inside that. But overall, we created the agent with some tools. Okay, now this is my meeting transcript. This is my user prompt where I'm saying you are AI assistant, summarize the following transcript and notify the team via email and push notification. Okay, now I will save this. Okay, and now, okay, I will run it. Okay, we have no doubt I will run it, but I want to show you something that now I am not explicitly saying which tool to run. Everything I said in this prompt only, right? I did not tell it what tool to use explicitly or which one to use, what is the order, nothing I told. So as soon as I run this, okay, it will complete the process. Okay, now let me say maybe demo one just to keep it. Okay, so in this demo one, what is happening? I'm saying runner dot run what my agent with this as a user prompt. It's very critical. Listen to it very carefully. Okay, I'm running an agent by giving it some user prompt. Now what will happen? It is doing what it is doing. This is a meeting prompt. It is doing summarization, extracting the case item action items, notifying the team via email, pushing the notification. I did not tell which tool to use, what is the inputs it should use, and what is the output it should give me. Nothing I told. Okay, but here is it running. Okay, so what is happening? It is invoking all these tools, but what is the evidence? Okay, hey Teja, you are saying it is going to use all these tools, but where is the evidence? Okay, let's see that. So first of all, I can see it extracted the summary, it extracted the action items, and it told me email has been sent and push notification has been sent. Now let's validate once again. Okay, maybe I got it in spam. Let me refresh. Okay, maybe I got it in email. Okay, so I see something went wrong and I did not get. So this is a good use case. Okay, or maybe I will get it in some time. Spam. I did not get. Let's see. So what happened? We will see. All right. So did it use and good thing that we got this error. Now I have an evidence to show. It says an email summary has been sent to the team, but did it send? Okay, what happened to it? What is the evidence? Let's try to debug it. So I have kept something called tracing. Now I will tell you more about tracing in the coming lab, but as of now, let's try to understand and debug and trace it. Okay, how to set up and all we will see in the coming lab. But for now, I am going to and see the flow. What is my tracing name? Meeting assistant flow demo one. So I'll go to the tracing piece. Let's see. So I need to go to platform openai.com or I can use Langsmith or other. But let me see. So as of now, it's 0010, this one. Okay, demo one you can see. And if I go to traces back, you can see hands off I did not use, but it made use of four tools. So what happened? So here if I see what it did is it did the transcript first. So this was the input that it got and this was the output. Okay. So as an output it's simply summarized. Now next it called what? Action item extractor tool, and you can see both of them ran parallelly because both of them are independent, so it has enough intelligence that output of one is not dependent on the other, so I can run it parallelly. Okay, but send email and push notification it needs to do after getting the summarization and action items, right? So if you see it did after it got all the extraction and summary and the action items. Okay, so it you understood it made call to all the four tools and it knows which is the order, what is the sequence, when I should call sequentially, when I should call parallelly. So if I go to action item, this is the input, and this is the output. Okay, now our thing is, it says it sent an email, right? But where did it send? So let's validate what happened actually. So to email, oh, so to email is different, and meeting. Okay, so this is the thing it prepared, and it says email sent successfully to some different email. So I understood it sent successfully, but to some different email. Why it sent to some different email? Let's see. Did did I mention it somewhere? Team at the rate. Okay. Okay, maybe since I did not mention anything, it did it that way. So I need to mention. So we will see how do I mention it, but we understood that it did. Okay, and then send push notification. Please check your email. Okay, this is the input that it got, and this is the output. So if I validate again, yes, you can see team, please check, and some content it gave. All right. So we understood that it executed, and this is what the purpose of the tracing. Now we understood that it is saying sent email, but I don't see the email. So what happened? Is it success? Is it failure? Or what is incorrect? Okay. That is the beauty of the tracing. Now we will see how to do with GPT, GPT, how to do with OpenAI platform, how to do with Langsmith, the tracing in the next session. But as of now, let's continue with our flow. Okay. So this is how I ran. Now, if you see previously, the project that I was creating is this one, right? I am calling run meeting assistant, and I was calling each method individually. Okay, but now instead of this, I want to make use of my agent so that I don't tell it which tool, I don't tell it what to use, everything it will decide. Okay, so I am going down, and instead of just this agent, I am going to add that agent in my, see, previously we were writing like this, now we are writing like this. Okay, so here I've included that trace. Okay, Gradio meeting agentic flow. Okay, let's say demo 2. Okay, you can modify or you can do anything, but now what I will be doing is I am going to say this one. Okay, and I want to show you one more very good thing. I will show you that. Okay, and we will see if that works or not. So let me take this transcript once again, copy, paste, and here I'm going to send my email also. So this email will be given to the SendGrid, and we'll see what happens. So now, if okay, meanwhile it is running. If I see the prompt, okay, what is the prompt? You are AI meeting assistant. Summarize, send the email, push the email content to mobile pushover. Did you see? I'm saying push the email content. So it means it will extract the email from whatever user input or from whatever I am passing. I'm not saying explicitly use this email, but it will identify and it will send. Now, if you can tell me, okay, if it is deciding a tool based on this, can I write if else condition or whatever conditional tool usage here itself? Yes, of course. Okay. Now, one more thing. Now, if I remove this line, push the email content to mobile, will it use? Let's validate that. But before that, let's see. So we got this output, and what was our flow? It was what was the tracing name? It was grading meeting assistant. So let's validate whether it did or not. So it did. So grading meeting assistant. If I open, I can see it did this parallelly. And okay, so maybe let's see where is the send email tool. Here it is, and I can see email sent successfully, and send push notification sent successfully. Action item extractor tool. Okay, and then transcript summary tool, all are good. Okay, now here if I validate here, yeah, I'll go here. I can see there is a meeting summary, the a Dpoint key points and something it sent me some summary, but this summary is a bit you can modify it a lot. You can do a markdown, you can modify. Of course, I think that piece you are clear. We are able to send email. We can make use of SendGrid to do a different kinds of formatting. Okay, so I'll go in this thing. Okay, let me see this email once again. And if you see, this is not full summary and this is not full extraction. Okay, so this is not a good thing. If I see previously it was very neatly done, but here it is not done neatly, because if I see why it is not doing properly, let's go to tracing. So if I go to tracing, I can see it called summary tool and send email tool and push notification tool and then action item extractor. All these four it ran parallelly. That's why it did not have proper content to send me on the email and push notification. So it did, but it did not do with that much intelligence. So it means it still needs what we can apply. We can apply prompt engineering technique saying that you let this and then you do this. So here I have to tell order again. Okay, maybe as of now, yes. Okay, but let's validate two things. First of all, here I understood that I need to optimize my prompt a bit more so that it does it sequentially and parallelly. But in coming labs, we have one more technique where we won't tell anything and it will do the order also by itself. Okay. And we will make use of LangChain, LangGraph. In that, we have more what we can say more level of abstraction where more things it will do on its own rather than we telling yes. So first of all, here we can manipulate the order, and second, if I remove the statement, push the email content to mobile. Okay, now if I run, okay, let's run once again, but before that, let me make it demo 3 and run. Okay, and I will use the same transcript. What I want to show it now, since we removed that pushover, it should not be pushing uh, that to the mobile notification. But if you understand, I'm using the same agent. Okay, and this agent has the tool, but I'm not asking it to send it to my mobile, so it should not be using that. Though it has it, but since it does not need it, it should not use. So that let's test once again. Dpoint 18@gmail.com. And that's the beauty of tracing. We can see how much time it took, what all it did sequentially, what all it took parallelly, and lots of things. Okay, yeah, with that mention, I am expecting that everything should happen, but the pushover notification tool it should not be using. Okay, meanwhile it's loading. Let's go to tracing and we'll go back and let's see if it is coming here. Yeah, I can see it's coming here. So yeah, let me show you one more thing. Since it's in progress, it is not completed. It is taking 15 seconds so far. If I open, it's still in progress. So let's see. I hope this is a very exciting flow for you. We are learning about agentic. Yeah, you can see this is the demo 3 we are looking for. So we are learning about tracing. We are learning about agents. We learned about tools, resources, and what we had to do to implement the same use case with LLM and with uh, the agent. Okay, and we made use of a decorator called function tool. Okay, so here I can see first. Okay, so you can see action item extractor send email to transcript it used, but it did not use the pushover. Okay, so it's all about this prompt. Okay, let me bring it back. So I hope you like the session, and you what we learned today is difference between LLMs and agents. Okay, and then we built our first agent and we made use of two tools, SendGrid and Pushover. And if you see in the tools, I want to highlight one more interesting point. So these were third-party APIs, okay? And what were these? Transcript, summary, action item, etc. These are one more LLMs. Okay, if you see, this we are creating as a tool, but internally it's one more LLM. It means we can use third-party APIs as a tool. We can use a regular Python function as a tool. We can use one more LLM as a tool. So we can use anything as a tool. Okay. Can we use an agent itself as a tool for one more agent? That's a good question. So mention that in the comment section if you think we can use our agent as a tool for one more agent. Okay. And I hope this is very exciting and this is the first time that you're seeing this, so it's a bit overwhelming. So it's okay. You can go through this code base once again. And for you, what I am doing is I am going to .env. Okay, I'll blur this up and I'll copy SendGrid and I'll keep it in local.env. So you can populate this whenever you are trying to run it. Let me do this and make sure you are not pushing your environment. I've added in .git ignore, but for your safety, I'm saying. All right. So I hope this was interesting and all the best. Let's meet in the next lab where we will be exploring more and more options, functions, and resources, of course, and memory, persistency, okay, context of our conversation, short-term memory, long-term memory. There's lots of things that we have to learn. So, with that mention, try to implement, mention in the comment section if any suggestions or any such things, and we will meet in the next lab 5. One more favor, do click on the notification bell and click on subscribe button so that if I post anything, you will get the notification immediately. Thank you. Have a good day.